Hi there. This is Rihanna Wright.
Hi, brother. You too. Glad you made it out.
Hey, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? It's Friday. Thanks for coming here with us. It's our third night of the 14th annual Emerging Lens Cultural Film Festival, and I'm glad to have you guys all here with us. Before we start, I'm gonna read a little land acknowledgement. The Emerging Lens is located in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship first signed in 1725. We are all treaty people. We also acknowledge that Nova Scotia has another unique set of people who predate Confederation on this land. These are African Nova Scotians, the Black Loyalists, Black refugees, Black pioneers, Black planters, and Jamaican Maroons. So I want to thank you to our sponsors, the Black Business Initiative, the province of Nova Scotia, Access, Warner Bros. Discovery, Rail Canada, Union of Black Artists Society, Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21, the Halifax Public Libraries, specifically the North Branch Library, since we're here tonight, and the city of Halifax. So before we get into our films, we have a performer for you. Their name is Damini. Is a 16-year-old high school student. She's an activist, spoken word poet, and Halifax Youth Poet Laureate. Damini is the founder of Damini Creatives and the Afro-Indigenous Book Club, a book club created to encourage young people to read books written by Black and Indigenous authors and to share the realities and experiences of Black and Indigenous Canadians. Damini was the junior artist in residence for Wellness Within, a community organization working for reproductive justice, prison abolition, and health equity. CBC's Artist in Residence for the Michelle Jean Foundation's Canadian Black Summit, held in July 2022, where she hosted an interactive community poetry booth. She's also a young freelance journalist for CBC Main Street. She has enjoyed being a board member of the Nova Scotia Girls Institute for Resource and Learning, which is a Nova Scotia girl, and she's a member of the HRM Youth Advisory Committee. Damini has received multiple awards, including the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal. As a spoken word poet for over 5 years, Damini loves to write, sing, and perform poems that bring attention to social justice and issues. Let's give a hand for Damini.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I think I'll just project. Do you guys think you'll be able to hear me from here? Okay. So the first poem I'll be reading today is called An Ode to Black Filmmakers, If I Could Tell You a Story. And I'd first like to start off by saying thank you so much for Tara for having me here today in Emerging Lens, and I'm excited to perform. So here it is. Red is the color I wear when it's late, and my door's knocked on round 8. Gray is the color I wear when it's cold. I don't mind shaking, it keeps me awake. Violet's the shade that I wear when I run through misty mountains, just chasing the sun. Blue is the color and pale is the hue when I start thinking of you. Oh, and I feel like I'm drifting. I close my eyes and I'm sitting on that soft sand, slipping right through my hands. Any time of the day I start floating away, looking at the sky, there are meteors exploding high, high on that soft sand, slipping right through my hands. Remember, if I could tell you a story, I would tell you one that lasts. One that seems that if you don't hear the end of it, your mind just might blast. I would tell you a story of triumph, of trial, of love, of hope, and commitment to life. If I could tell you a story, I would tell you a story cast in liquid moonlight, starring a young child finding his way, a cinematic sort of grace, a coming of age with love and bloom. In Chiron's journey, we see ourselves seeking identity amid shadows and pockets of light. If I could tell you a story, I would tell you a story that would make you want to get out of your seat. It would thrill you and concern you, delving into race and societal fears as Chris navigates a world gone awry. Within the satire, we see parallels are drawn within our own reality. If I could tell you a story, I would tell you a story that kings would bow to hear women tell. A true story of warrior women, both legend and truth. They lived in Benin, regal on screen. This story was displayed with the best possible portrayals. Confronting injustice, this story would tell of a resilience that stays. If I could tell you a story, no, I wouldn't. Actually, maybe I would. I would tell you a story of mystery, of a brother and a sister wrapped in a shroud of gray crystal clouds, of secrets that veil in the light of day. Horses, horrors, and history would intertwine to bring this story to life. If I could tell you a story, I would tell you a story of love and basketball. You see, this story was soaked in coffee mocha. This is Black love. The plot introduces passions and sports to each other. A love story so sweet, the characters go from just Monica and just Quincy to Monica and Quincy. If I could tell you a story, I would tell you a story where Beale Street could talk. We wouldn't wonder if it could, it just would. It would tell a story of Tish and Fani, lost in love but found in each other. It would tell how the world can be cruel and how injustice refused to die so that love could live. If I could tell you a story, I would tell you a story of a Black Panther, born on the motherland, in a land by the name of Wakanda. This story is one of my particular favorites. An African king rising for his nation and his people. The highlights of this story include beauty, vibrance, culture, unity, and Black excellence, and a bit of humor. Maybe a line like, "Did he freeze?" And T'Challa's response of, "I never freeze." The story's impact stretched beyond the cinemas and screens. This story came to life in our lives, inspiring Black youth and children to dream as fiction and reality merged as one. King T'Challa became our king. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. See now, I've told many stories of visions, characters, and peoples. These stories are brought to life by Black filmmakers who created visually stunning pictures, challenged conventions, and broke barriers. A testament to resilience, each of these stories are etched into filmmaking history and taken as souvenirs in the hearts of the viewers. There are many stories to be told and many movies to be made and Black filmmakers to be defined, so let me tell you a story. Thank you so much. So this second poem has a double meaning in its name, actually. It's called On Scene, and it means, it's actually spelled O, and then there's a slash, and then there's a U, and then an N, and then scene, like a movie scene. So it's like we're both on scene, but we're also unseen at times. The scene opens up, Black borders expanding to reveal a person about yay high. In their hand they hold a Sony FX6, smiling wide, brown gum showing. Brown eyes twinkling at the small image they're trying to see. They pull at their lock in excitement, proud of what they managed to create, managed to foresee. With cameras in hand, visions in mind, magic is spun on clapperboards as characters come to life and worlds of reality and creation collide like Oscar Michaud made them in the beginning. Black filmmakers tell the stories of their people through the camera lenses, asking people to take time and to comprehend. They tell stories spilled like sweet milk and honey from their creative minds, warmly washing over those that their art touches, leaving no heart untouched or person blind. With cameras in hand, visions in mind, magic is spun on clapperboards as characters come to life. The worlds of reality and creation collide like Juanita Peters bade them forward. Black filmmakers carved their paths into the stones of the filmmaking industry, moving between shot to shot, frame to frame. Within the motion picture, they made a space for themselves. Made space in the flicker of colors on screens, fought to be heard over static hums, wrote their stories on canvas, projections, making their places, leaving pieces of themselves behind. They injected much needed color into the world of less Black than white. Black and white with cameras in hand, visions in mind, magic is spun on clapperboards as characters come to life. The worlds of reality and creation collide like Ava DuVernay dreamt them alive. Black filmmakers arise, disguised and unknown, but holding cameras, taking shots, point blank, points Black, creating the foundations and culture that films stand on today. Movies on the margins, often overlooked, with cameras in hand, visions in mind, magic is spun on clapperboards as characters come to life. The worlds of reality and creation collide like Sylvia D. Hamilton beckoned them to come forward, whispered to her are the voices of the ancestors. Black filmmakers have always had a different perspective, a different take on life, chose to see life through long shots rather than close-ups. With cameras in hand, visions in mind, magic is spun on clapperboards as characters come to life and worlds of reality and creation collide. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. She's only 16, guys. You hear her words? Let's give her applause again. Introduce myself. I'm Kayla Borden. I'm on the board of the Emerging Lens Film Festival. I'm the treasurer, also the artist coordinator. Sometimes I do photography as well, but we have Harms in the building today doing photography for us. Thanks to Harms. Let's give her a nice round of applause as And as I mentioned, this is our third night, so we have one more night, which is tomorrow night, and actually tomorrow in the afternoon as well. We have 2 panels happening. At 12 p.m. it's Breaking Through the Screens panel, and then at 1 we have an interactive session with Bree Love Counseling, so you guys should come check that out if you're free. So let's get into the movies. Let's go.
If you don't want to change, then there's going to be no change. And I wanted to change. I want to be better. I want to be a better person.
Not in an inaccurate or stereotypical way. Like the old fiction of how to see, like the Rain Man type character the actress doesn't work anymore.
Because I've been in it, huh? When you taking care of your business, what's the